AskReddit. People of Reddit, what is the creepiest thing that happened to you while home alone? I got a phone call asking how my TV was holding up. I thought it was just the company we bought it from checking up on it and doing their normal customer support stuff until I was told exactly what channel I was watching. I asked who it was on the phone and they said, "Don't worry, I can see you, but you can't see me." I was 9 at the time and my parents were out of town for work, so my older sister, 17 at the time, got us all to hide in my parents' closet with the guns and we called the police. When they arrived they called us to let us know it was them knocking on the door. They found footprints but no person. We installed security cameras not soon after and never had a problem again, but it still creeps me out to this day. We all know the cats at 3 AM meme where your cat starts running around the house and making a huge ruckus in the middle of the night for no reason whatsoever. Yeah, all cats do that. No big deal. Well, one night my cat was doing that, and since it was pretty common I just ignored it. Cats do it and it's normal. I was downstairs and not asleep yet, and my cat was upstairs. It kept going for a little while, but I paid no attention to it until I heard glass shatter. I went upstairs to check on my cat and see what broke. My cat was sound asleep. Nothing was broken. It literally wasn't 30 seconds after I heard something break that I stood up and went upstairs, and my cat was sleeping like a baby. When I went to go pick her up, she did that stretch and yawn thing that cats do after waking up from a long nap, and she had obviously been asleep for quite some time. I never found any broken glass. I had a dog that suddenly jumped awake at night and went absolutely apeshit. He ran to the rear of the house, barking, growling, hair standing on end. We are talking full on fight to the death mode here. I tried walking back to see what the problem was, but he wouldn't let me past him, kept blocking my way. I did hear a couple strange sounds like maybe the house was settling, but nothing out of the ordinary. He was acting like whatever he was seeing or hearing was inside the house, not outside. He wasn't looking out a window. He was blocking the hallway to the laundry room and backing up like something was slowly advancing on him. After a while he calmed down. The supposed threat went away. It was probably about 10 minutes of pretty intense growling and barking though. Even after he calmed down, he still wouldn't let me go down that hall until daylight. When I finally did, I couldn't see anything unusual. I still have no idea what set him off, but whatever it was, he was not okay with it. He was honestly acting like he was going to die, but was damn sure taking whatever it was with him. When I was a kid I was once peacefully going to sleep in my room in the evening. It was dark already and I was alone when I suddenly looked up and noticed some dark figure sitting on the high shelf at the end of the room with the legs down. In a few seconds I realized it was just a pair of pants hanging from the shelf, but for a moment I was shocked. Another time also as a kid I was home alone in the summer and went to the balcony of my project house when I saw a man in black sunglasses waving at me. I quickly hid and looked at him from the other room's window so he wouldn't notice. He just stood there alone in the street looking at the balcony, so I man up and go back there, and then he calls my name. It was my dad. This happened to my mom. She grew up in Wichita, Kansas while the BTK serial killer was active. The house of one of his first victims was down her block. But one day she was home with her brother. She was upstairs in her room and he was downstairs. Apparently he heard a noise in the backyard moments before the power cut out. This was one of the key things that BTK did before entering the home. She just knew the power went out, then heard her brother scream and yelled for her to run away. She hopped out her window and sprinted barefoot to a Pizza Hut a couple blocks away. She called the police who went to the house but didn't find anything and everything turned out fine. I live with my parents in a small house in a countryside. We have 2 entrance doors, first into the hallway, second right into the house, and we leave them open so our cats and dog can go out and back in whenever they want, and we close them only at night. In the second door we have a net against bugs, which closes itself by magnets in the middle when you walk through it, so you can walk through it with full hands or the cats and dog can walk through it easily. Once when I was home alone I was sitting in my room, which is the furthest from the door and you can't see the entrance. Throughout the day I heard how the cats would walk out, because I heard only 2 magnets of the net click, then few time the dog, so 3 or 4 magnets clicked. But then I heard more clicks of the magnets, as if a person walked through it. So I went to look if there was someone, maybe a postman, but I found nobody, so I went back to my room. But few minutes went by, and I heard it again and again. I would always run to the door and then outside, but nobody was there. I still don't know what it was or how it happened. Home Alone when I was 10 or 12, somewhere in between there. My parents' house is located in the suburbs surrounded by woods and a golf course. It was a stormy night and my parents went out for dinner. I was watching TV in the living room with my dog on my lap when all of a sudden she jumps up and sprints to the front door barking. She never barks, my dad trained her, since she had a very loud annoying bark. I walk over and turn on the outside light to see nobody. As soon as I did this, she sprinted to the back living room by the pool with sliding glass doors and starts barking over there like someone was inside the screened pool area. I run over and turn the pool lights on, empty. I started to get kinda freaked out. She then ran to the garage door barking like she was going to rip someone's face off. I grab a knife from the kitchen and open the garage door to hear the rain and see the main garage door wide open. I immediately shut the garage door and slammed the inside door behind me, grabbed my dog and ran into my room, locking the door and going into the closet. I waited in there what felt like 3 hours for my parents to get home. I told them everything and my dad went outside to find what looked like new muddy footprints around the garage and pool area. Nothing else ever came about from it, but man, I got the chills typing that out. Freaky experience. Saturday morning, 1970s. Dad is at work and my mom and sister went shopping for groceries. I was in the bath when the house was broken into. I froze, trying not to make a sound as I heard someone creeping through the house. Then heard them try to open the bathroom door just as the doorbell rang. It was mom, hoping I'd open the front door because her arms were overloaded with grocery bags. She saw a shadow through the stained glass beside the front door go downstairs. I think that was the one time I'd never been happier to see my mum. I was 9. I was 10 at the time, and I swear I saw Jeff the Killer. Either that, or someone was playing a sick joke on me. I was with my little sister, 8, and had to grab my iPad from my room. As I was grabbing that, I felt chills, and I looked out the window and saw a guy in a stained white hoodie and jeans, wielding a knife. I freaked out and locked all of the doors, then grabbed my dad's metal bat he keeps for protection, and we hid in the attic. My parents returned half an hour later and said they saw a guy in a hood trying to hop over our fence. We moved out 2 weeks later. I was living with my parents, but they were out of town for a couple of nights. I was sitting at my computer with my headphones on playing video games at maybe 1-2 in the morning. Suddenly I feel my phone vibrating. I look down and see that someone new has added me on Snapchat, and out of curiosity I accept. I continue playing my game, and when it's done I look at my phone again to see if the person has messaged me, which they had. So I open up the Snapchat, and to my extreme horror I see that it's a photo of me sitting at my computer, playing video games, taken from a good bit behind me with zoom. The photo had been taken maybe just a few minutes before, while I was still in the game. There was no caption, no text, no nothing. I immediately go into panic mode and think I'm going to be murdered any second. Now, all the lights were off in the house, so I couldn't see outside of my room because it was pitch black, but the light switch for the hallway is just outside of my room. I sneak out and flick it on, but don't see anyone. I slowly walk towards the kitchen to turn those lights on as well, and to grab a knife. As soon as I turn on the lights I hear someone literally stomping up the stairs from the first floor. Very slowly, but very loud point, and the lights on the first floor were all off, so it was pitch black down there as well. At that point I just thought duck it and ran outside. Outside I see 2 of my mates filming me and laughing their *SCARIEST off. Turns out that when they had been at my place earlier during the day they had devised a plan to prank the shit out of me and stolen the extra key we kept at home. So 2 of the guys had gone in through the door on the bottom floor, and the other 2 were waiting outside to film my reaction when / if I ran out. Pretty anticlimactic ending to the story. but still, it scared the ever-living sh*t out of me. Like and subscribe to spend more time procrastinating with Reddit.